Okay, guys, here we go. Well, it seems that Donald Trump he's finally went after him. These dirty prosecutors and federal officials, it seemed like they could just create all kinds of fake lawfare and whatever else they wanted to against Trump. Now they're getting their day in court, Trump court. So he just fired all of them. He said, screw you. You know, if you're not going to uphold the law, respect your office, do what needs to be done when it needs to be done in a fair and legal way, well, screw you. So today he fired a lot of them, and I hope he fires more of them. So anyways, here's CNN. Let's see what they say. They're always kind of whining and crying, so let's see what's up.
The administration has fired federal prosecutors at the Department of Justice who were involved in the criminal cases investigating President Trump and his role in the January 6th Capitol riots. Let's get right to CNN's chief legal affairs correspondent, Paula Reed. This news is breaking right now. Paula.
Good. They needed to be fired.
What's going on?
Jake, we have gotten so much news out of the Justice Department in just the past 30 minutes. Trump Justice Department officials doing exactly what President Trump said he would do, firing officials who worked on criminal investigations.
That's right. You know, you might not like what Trump says, but one thing about Trump, when he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it.
Investigations related to Trump, and also launching an investigation into the prosecutions of January 6th. Now, let's start with that first news, and that is this move to fire, we're told, over a dozen officials who worked on criminal investigations related to President Trump. The acting attorney general.
These are the same pieces of crap that put the eavesdropping devices in Trump's hotel, checking on them, basically eavesdropping them during the 2016 campaign. I mean, you got to be pretty low to do that to someone running for president, and you got to be pretty stupid if you're a federal worker not to know that that's wrong. But they just didn't give a crap.
Sent out a memo earlier notifying them that they are being removed from their positions, saying, quote, "You played a significant role in prosecuting President Trump. The proper functioning of the government critically depends on the trust superior officials placed in their subordinates. Given your significant role in prosecuting the president, I do not believe that the leadership of the department can trust you to assist in implementing the president's agenda faithfully."
You know, it's funny. I voted for Bush twice, both times. I wouldn't vote for another Bush just because, you know, they're not going to back the Republican nominee. Why should I ever back you again? So if Bush's brother ever runs, well, screw him. But anyways, the point I was going to make is Bush, he would have been him and Han and being nice. We did that in the past. Forget it. You know, they won't do it again. Blah, blah, blah. Not Trump. Trump says, screw you. You come after me, I'm going to come after you.
So that has happened just in the past 20 minutes. And then earlier this afternoon, we learned that the Trump administration is also launching what is being described as a, quote, special project to investigate certain charges that were pursued in the larger January 6th investigation. So this isn't related to President Trump, but this is related to January 6th prosecutions where individuals were charged with obstruction of justice. Now, the interim U.S. Attorney, Ed Martin, sent out a memo today.
So don't get me wrong, guys. These people should not have been breaking windows out and destroying property. It's one thing to protest, but, you know, you have to know your limits. But here's the problem. If this had been a bunch of black people going down Main Street, breaking the front glass out of businesses and stealing the TVs and stuff like that, they never would have got arrested. And if they did get arrested, they would have been out within 24 hours without any bail. You know, the lawyers would have came in and said, well, they were just protesting and that's an American right and blah, blah, blah. However, these people, because they were conservative and they were supporters of Trump, well, the Democrats, they had to give them a lesson. They had to prove their point. These people have been in jail for 4 years, And if Trump had not won, if Biden had won, they'd be in there another 4 years for doing the exact same thing, except for the fact that they're conservative or Republican or whatever. And that's what's wrong. This whole thing was distorted way out of proportion for political reasons. And that's the part I don't agree with.
Saying that he wants to review cases where this charge was used. A senior administration official notes the fact that the Supreme Court reviewed this charge being used in the context of January 6th, that it could not be used in this context. So now all of these cases are being reviewed. The senior administration official called this a huge waste of resources and said this is going to be a fact-finding mission. But of course, there are enormous concerns about the Trump Justice Department going after prosecutors. Of course, this was the largest criminal investigation and prosecution in the Justice Department's history. Trump has just pardoned most of the people who have been convicted. All but 14 were pardoned. The 14 received commutations, other people having their charges dismissed. But two incredibly big stories out of the Trump Justice Department in terms of how they are going to handle the criminal investigations that have occurred over the past 4 years.
Paula, was this a surprise?
No, it is exactly what President Trump said he would do when he was.
President Trump says he's going to do something, he's just going to do it.
On the campaign trail, he made it clear that he would fire Jack Smith. Officials that I've spoken with said that they could expect anyone who worked in Jack's.
Good. I hope they throw Jack Smith out the window, him and all his little buddies. Talk about lawfare. That's all it was a bunch of lawfare. They corrupted the legal system, corrupted the federal prosecution system, and just made up a bunch of crap.
Smith's office to be pushed out. There is an enormous amount of distrust from the president's team of anyone who worked related to the special counsel's office. So it's not a surprise in terms of what they signaled they would do, but it is a surprise because these are career officials who are supposed to be impartial. They're supposed to be.
That's right. Career officials who are supposed to be impartial. I wonder when they were under Biden if they were impartial. I wonder when the DA was traveling from Atlanta to go meet with Kamala Harris so that they could find dirt on Donald Trump so they could prosecute him. I wonder if they were being impartial. Nah, it was just all about let's get Donald Trump so that we don't have to run against him. That didn't quite work out the way they thought it was going to.
Able to do their job, investigate, follow the facts where they may lead without retaliation. Now, when it comes to reviewing specifically the January 6th cases where they charged obstruction of justice, that is a little bit of a surprise, but this opens the door to a larger review of how the January 6th cases were handled. Jake, as you know, the president has come under criticism for off.
He has, under criticism. I wonder who's criticizing them. CNN, MSNBC, NBC, ABC. Yeah, the regular, idiots. But that's what you got to put up with when you got a bunch of lefties in charge.
Pardons that were much more broad than he had said he would. He said that he wouldn't likely pardon folks who had committed violent acts on January 6th. He pardoned many people who committed violence on that day, also commuted the sentences of others. So perhaps this is.
I think violence is a relative term. I mean, if somebody attacks you, you can attack them back. Are you being violent? I don't think so.
It's part of an effort to undermine the credibility and legitimacy of some of those cases.
Let's bring in CNN's chief national affairs correspondent, Jeff Zeleny. And Jeff, you're at the White House. The president campaigned on this, as Paula says?
He campaigned on it, and it's been something that he has been thinking about for a long time, and this should not come as a surprise at all, as Paula was just saying there. But interesting in that letter that Paula was reading, if we break that down a little bit more, they're saying that these career officials cannot be trusted to implement the president's agenda. Very interesting words there. Of course, the Department of Justice has long been viewed separately. It is not the
They're viewed separately. Well, they were fused at the hip when it came with Biden, Kamala Harris, anything on the left.
Presidents are lawyers, but that language certainly reflects what the president believes. And Jake, thinking back to what President Trump still believes his big.
I wonder when they were putting those bugs in Trump Hotel if they weren't being partial.
Biggest mistake was in his first term is appointing Jeff Sessions as the Attorney General. Of course, he recused himself in the Russia investigation, and it went downhill from there.
So Trump, when he didn't really know anybody in Washington when he first got there, so he asked around, well, who should I hire for this position and that position, and so forth. So he got a bunch of Yankees in there, Jeff Sessions, Alabama, and these guys just turned out to be milquetoast. They couldn't do anything, and they just had no backbone. In the end, they were just all thrown out.
So since that moment, the president has been intent on remaking the Justice Department in his own vision. He wants someone who is loyal to him, and this is also coming, this cleaning of house, if you will, is coming right before Pam Bondi is going to have a vote in the Senate and likely will be confirmed. So it seems to me like trying to get some business taken care of before she becomes the Attorney General, which everyone expects. She's likely to earn even some Democratic votes.
I think Bondi will be a good selection. Trump wants her, and I think the Democrats, they're just kind of running out of energy. They're saying, oh gosh, here comes another select person. Is there anything we can do to not confirm him? Oh Lord, I don't think so. We got to confirm him. So anyways, there you go, guys. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think. If you agree with me, put it in the comments. If you disagree with me, put it in the comments. And I appreciate it, and see you.